good news, again, we have the database. The bad news is, as Representative Neal, it's not enough data. It's only the warning ticket data. About 25% of the agencies are breaking the law by not turning it in, but there's no teeth. So they have no reason to turn it in, so they're not turning it in. And nobody's looking at the data, really. The state hasn't done anything with it. The Department of Public Safety, this is their website, they're not doing anything with it. And the law enforcement agencies are not doing anything with it. We decided to do something with it. I wanted to recognize Wayne Borders, who's done work with this database, which I'm going to show in just a second, over the years. Wayne, Laura Kate, who's done a mountain of work as well. Kate McKinney, who's not here, graduate of the Majeska School, has done an incredible amount of work. Gareth Finley and Daniel DeWeese as well has done. It's been a team effort. I just want to briefly show you the database. This is something the South Carolina, our government put together. Do you think it's effective? Do you think it's user friendly? What do you think? No. Probably not. So if you go to the Department of Public Safety's website, you scroll all the way down to the bottom here, this tiny little link. You can click here, so that's one link. Let's count the links together. 1, 2, and then this boring little page, 3. Let's see, is Mr. Campbell still here?
Right there.
Yes.
Mount Pleasant.
Mount Pleasant. Let's pick on Mount Pleasant. So this is click number 4.
So every police agency in the state is listed here. So in any town that you're from, you can do this.
Yeah, all 303 agencies.
If they submit it.
If they submit it. Mount Pleasant has, so that's about 8 clicks. Finally, you scroll down and you get all this. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, we did some work. We ran these numbers. We looked at these numbers against the census data. And what we found in Mount Pleasant, at least, is that if you're black, you're 7 times as likely to be stopped as if you're white. That's with the warning ticket data. We need more data to know what's going on with the regular tickets that are given, and people who are just stopped and given verbal warnings. As far as the militarization of the police, what's happening in Mount Pleasant with the militarization of the police? Well, we ran some more data. There's a program called the Marshall Project that reports data from the Department of Defense. That the Department of Defense over the last 20 years has given $62 million in excess surplus military equipment to South Carolina law enforcement agencies. About 110 agencies have taken something. You can see Richland County, how much equipment have they gotten?
13 million.
13 million. Mount Pleasant is part of the $1 Million Club.
At the bottom, second from the bottom.
Second from the bottom. Where are they? There they go. No, almost in the million. Mount Pleasant got a $658,000 mine-resistant vehicle, as well as 72 5.56 millimeter rifles. Does anybody know another name for a 5.56 millimeter rifle?
Cannon.
No, automatic assault weapon.
Right, an automatic assault weapon. So Mount Pleasant Police Department has a mine-resistant vehicle, essentially a tank, and 72 cannons or automatic assault weapons to protect and serve the good people of Mount Pleasant. Our work going into next legislative session is to have a press conference for one thing in Mount Pleasant and work with the Mount Pleasant police and ask them some questions. First of all, why is it that black folks in Mount Pleasant are 7 times as likely to be stopped as white people? Why do they need a tank? Why do they need machine guns to protect and serve the people in Mount Pleasant? We want to move, first we want the police agencies to support a bill, Representative Neal's bill, to provide more data, to know what's going on. We want the race, gender, and age, and what happened to people who got stopped in Mount Pleasant, so that we can compare that against census data to see how effectively they're policing and patrolling people there. And we want to know why this warrior culture mentality for the police. We want to move them from a warrior culture mentality to a guardian culture mentality. That's part of the conversation we're starting. And we also have a poverty problem in South Carolina. You can look at a place like Allendale. Allendale, they're not reporting the data here. They're not reporting data on their budget to the South Carolina Association of Counties. All this red, that's where Allendale is not reported. But Allendale, what's their poverty rate in Allendale? What's the poverty rate?
39.9%.
Yeah. Almost half the people in Allendale are under the poverty level. And the poverty level, as everyone knows, is ridiculously low as it is. So it may not be as much a racial problem. Certainly racism is the most profound problem in South Carolina. I'll wrap up by saying racism is the most profound issue in South Carolina. The network identified that 20 years ago today. any problem you have in South Carolina, you peel back the onion, you find racism. So we have education problems, healthcare problems, and criminal justice problems that are all exacerbated by racism. And we have a class war that's driven by racism. And we have, it's poverty. Poverty is a big, it also is an incredible center in all that's going on here. But again, our strategy is simple, is get the police on board, back a new bill. If the police back this, it'll pass. The Republicans have told us that this bill will pass if law enforcement agencies back this. And our primary mission, above all, is movement building. We're building and strengthening our movement by challenging the institutional racism. That's an indisputable aspect of our criminal justice system. And if we can expose and mitigate race-based police stops through this legislation, Representative Neal's legislation, we can improve community police relations and make law enforcement jobs safer and easier. So thank you very much.